So it's Chiropractic Awareness Week this week, and I'm out today with my little sausages, who you can just see squeezing in the frame down there. And someone asked me today about why I became a chiropractor, and I realised it's something that I've never actually talked about before. I tend to talk a bit about what I think is useful to people, so exercises and back pain resources and things like that. So I, like many people, I became a chiropractor from personal experience with chiropractic care. And when I was growing up, I played a lot of lacrosse, I did a lot of horse riding, I did a lot of carriage driving as well. So I remember having all of the injuries that go along with that sort of thing as well, because obviously you're playing quite physical sports and you put your body through it. And the real pivotal moment for me came when I was about 15 or 16, and I had a fall off a horse that was actually so severe that I was convinced that I'd broken my hip. I was in agony, and I had come off this horse at speed, landed heavily on my hip, wasn't wearing my helmet, so kids, always wear your helmet. And as it so happens, it was my aunt's horse that I fell off, and something that not many people also know is that my uncle's a chiropractor. So luckily it was my aunt's horse. I got whisked up to my uncle's clinic and got treatment. It must have been within the hour of having this accident. And I remember within sort of 3 or 4 days after this really nasty injury, I had treatment and I was back on my feet, and I was back in the saddle. More importantly, you know what they say, always get back in the saddle. So I think for me that came at a time in my life where I had the careers advisor at school telling me that I needed to decide what it was that I wanted to do with my life, and I really didn't know. I'd spent some time shadowing GPs, osteopaths, physiotherapists, and they were all great, but none of them really fit with my personal ethos, and they weren't really congruent with my values of who I am as a person. And so after I had this chiropractic care, obviously I'd known what chiropractors did and what chiropractic was because of my uncle, but I never really considered it as a career path. And so when I had this treatment and got back on my feet so quickly with just basically just a chiropractor, the hands and a treatment bench, no drugs, no surgery, no major interventions whatsoever, that to me, it was, I just remember thinking, God, that is such a cool thing to do. It's such a cool job. And I realised that fit really well with how I believe that we should be looking after ourselves. So exercising, eating right, you know, not smoking, minimal drinking, you know, all of those sort of things. And so that was really how I got into chiropractic care and why I became a chiropractor. And it's a profession that I really, really love. It's work that I love to do. It's the most incredible thing in the world when somebody can come in agony, as I was when I hobbled into the chiropractor's treatment room after that accident. And within a couple of days, couple of weeks, you can get people back on their feet without needing surgery, drugs, things like that. You know, I think it's an amazing thing. And nowadays, with the way that healthcare is going now, with the recent papers from the Lancet that say how we're not managing back pain properly, I think chiropractic, we're so well positioned to help people because we look at everyone from a holistic perspective. So you look at things like their diet, we can give nutritional advice, we can prescribe exercises, we have this whole toolbox of treatments that we can do: dry needling, ultrasound, low-level laser, light therapy, the spinal adjustments, the soft tissue work. You know, there's a real package of care that chiropractic offers, and I don't think you get that in many healthcare professions. So that's really why I became a chiropractor and why I do what I do. And I mean, it was almost 6 years ago now that I completed my training, and I've never looked back. So I hope you enjoyed that. It was slightly different from what I usually talk about. I'm not sure that sausages really know what I'm doing. They're probably wondering why I'm talking to my phone. But I hope you enjoyed that, and stay tuned for the rest of Chiropractic Awareness Week, and I'll speak to you soon.